Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about episode 4 of What If, titled What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? And that could be a little spoiler for those of you that don't know, because this is a spoiler review, and yeah, that title definitely told you the truth at what's going to happen. Lost in a big way, because in this episode we start off with Iron Man 2, that shot where Nick Fury goes to see Tony at the donut shop, and to check up on him because he knows he has the arc reactors like poisoning his system. And then Natasha puts a serum in him to help him out a little bit. But in this case, the twist is that, or what it looks like, the serum kills Tony. And at first, Natasha is brought in. I like that. I think that was Frank Grillo in the episode voicing, voicing Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, because he was a Hydra agent at that point, so we wouldn't have known yet. But he should have been around at that time. So again, this episode actually, let me get to the voice cast. This episode did not. It was the episode that had the least actors coming back. It still had a good amount of actors who returned, like Mark Ruffalo, Jeremy Renner, Samuel Jackson, those actors, Tom Hiddleston. I'm pretty sure Chris Hemsworth did his grunt work just like he did for Frog Thor in that one Loki episode. But because it sounded like him when he was grunting. But there were a lot of new actors taking over pre-existing roles from the MCU, probably because they couldn't get them back for one reason or another. One of them I'll get to because it was very jarring when I heard that character speak. But yes, I really did like the opening shot of them doing it, because at first I was like, is this like what if Black Widow goes rogue and starts killing all the Avengers? There was a brief moment I said maybe it was her, but then she did look surprised, but I thought maybe that was the twist coming up later. But no, she actually was innocent, and eventually she is the last one killed. There was even a moment I thought Hawkeye killed Thor at one point, because it did look like he like let go of the bow and arrow, and you're like thinking to what I was thinking, like, is he lying? Is he not? I did like they brought Clark Gregg back to voice Phil Coulson. That was another actor they brought back. I'll be doing an episode on the actors who returned and the actors who didn't. I'll be doing a video on that. If not tomorrow, hopefully Saturday for sure. But yeah, it was nice hearing Phil Coulson, back in this episode. And him gushing about Thor was actually pretty funny. Even after he was dead, some people are probably going to find that creepy. I thought it was funny in a creepy way. Funny in a creepy way. How beautiful he thought Thor's hair was. That was funny to me. But yes, I did like this go around going into those movies during that time, because if you know the MCU timeline, Iron Man 2, Thor, the first Thor movie, and The Incredible Hulk, the movie with Edward Norton, those movies take place simultaneously at the same time. There's little hints and clues at where certain events could have been taking place. So to see it in this one episode, all three of those moments happening, or all three of those movies happening, was kind of interesting, just with all of them being killed, including the Hulk, whose heart explodes, it looks like. So what was cool about the Hulk segment was that they did, obviously it was the Incredible Hulk, and they brought back Betty Ross. This is the first time Betty Ross has returned to the MCU in some form or another. Unfortunately, not played by Liv Tyler. I'm kind of sad. I hope this still leaves the door open for Liv Tyler to eventually return. I was kind of hoping it would have been her, but unfortunately it was. As soon as she opened her mouth, I said, it's not Liv Tyler. Another actor that didn't return for this episode, that was even more obvious to me, was William Hurt as General Ross. General Ross was there. It was during the scene where they filmed at York, not York University. It was the University of Toronto in the Incredible Hulk. That's where they filmed the scene in the park where they're attacking him when he's at that. I think they made it look like a library in the movie, but it was actually a university in Toronto. And when General Ross starts speaking, that was probably, out of all the first 3 episodes, that was probably the voice I realized, oh wow, that took me out of it, because it did not sound like William Hurt. He has a distinct voice that, to me, I guess it just threw me off a little bit, because I was expecting him to do the voice, because he was just back in Black Widow, William Hurt, as Ross, and then he was also in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. I guess he just, maybe he wanted too much money, maybe he just couldn't, maybe timing, I don't know. That's what the showrunner said. It could have been any of those things. So it's kind of sad they couldn't get him back, and Liv Tyler back either. But it was cool that we got to hear Mark Ruffalo. Well, he didn't really interact with them. That was the sad thing. And I was paying attention to that scene, because if you know the Incredible Hulk, Blonsky, Emil Blonsky, also known as the Abomination, he was supposed to be in that scene also. So I was paying attention to how long they were going with all of it. And I think they stopped it at the appropriate time, because after the Hulk busts out, that's when Blonsky was supposed to start running towards the Hulk, because he wanted to join in on the fight. But it looks like they stopped, they killed the Hulk before that fight could even happen, so there was no need for Emil Blonsky to start fighting the Hulk. Although I do wonder what happens with him now in the timeline after, because maybe he just gives up, like, man, what was the point? They stole my moment. That's probably what he was thinking to himself. But other than that, I did like the lead up to the end when Black Widow is finally killed. She gives she tries to give Fury a message, a warning on, or a clue on who it could be. And at first, when she was saying hope, I was thinking to myself, what? It's all about hope. And I'm like thinking, or something like that. And I'm like thinking to myself, what is she talking about? But I had the subtitles on. And when they showed hope, they spelled it with a capital H. And I said, what? Oh, no. Is this having something to do with Ant-Man? So right away, I was already cluing into which Hope she was talking about. So I was saying, Hope Van Dyne? What does she have to do with this? And then when it was leading up to the cemetery, and you hear Michael Douglas's voice, that Hank Pym was the one assassinating all the Avengers, I was like, oh, shoot. I did not see that coming. Although the Hope Pym connection was starting to make me, like curious, like who is it? Scott Lang or something? And I should have thought right away that it was Hank Pym, but I didn't. So when that revelation happened, it was like, oh. But then they get you again with another twist that I didn't see coming at all. Was when Hank was fighting as Yellow Jacket, by the way, when Hank was fighting, which made me wonder why the Yellow Jacket. Wouldn't he still be Ant-Man? Doesn't he still have that suit? So why would he pick the Yellow Jacket costume? Well, okay, whatever. But what I thought was interesting was when Hank was fighting Nick Fury, and at first I'm like thinking, wait a minute, okay, Nick Fury is good, but he's not that good, is he? So I was trying to think to myself, maybe, I don't know, and Hank Pym even makes that assumption, like, hey, how are you doing this? Like, this is impossible. And then that's when the reveal happens that it wasn't Nick Fury, because just a few moments before this, we see him going to talk to Loki, and I guess making a deal with him, right? Or something. And so it turns out Loki was actually in disguise as Nick Fury, and he was the one that is. And then I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now. So that was pretty cool. I did like that they reminded us earlier on too, because it was something that I thought was going to happen when he went to go confront Loki. He got out the beeper to remind us that he had been in touch with Captain Marvel. So that movie was unaffected in this timeline. Neither was Iron Man 1, but or Captain America: The First Avenger, because after that whole confrontation with Hank, he's Nick Fury talks to Loki, and Loki says, "Yeah, well, maybe I'm gonna stay a little bit long. I'm gonna extend my stay here on Earth, on Midgard." And Nick Fury is like, "How long?" And then the next day, Loki already announces his arrival to Earth and taking over, and that the world leaders are no longer in function. So Loki had already taken over Earth in one day. So then I thought, oh wow, is the episode gonna end this way? But it does not end this way. It actually ends with Nick Fury going in the Arctic, finding Captain America's shield, and who arrives behind him? Captain Marvel. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then it ends like that. So giving a little bit of hope that maybe the future's not all bad. And there still could be other Avengers out there to help out. Maybe. With that being said, when the episode ended, I kind of wanted to see Captain Marvel and Captain America kicking ass together, fighting Loki and his army. I thought that would have been awesome. And would the Warriors 3 and Sif have turned on Loki and realized, yeah, this is going too far, Loki. What the hell? I would have liked to see something like that happen. Because Loki, he wanted Thor banished. I do wonder why he turned like that, because he did want Thor's killer captured, right? So I wonder if he was faking that. He had to be faking, right? I don't think he hated Thor that much at that point where he wanted Thor dead. I think he just wanted Thor away so he could take over Asgard. But then you also have to wonder, well, how long was Loki really going to be king? Because we know Odin would have woken up from his sleep eventually, right? I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was a really good episode, guys. I thought, yeah, I'm really enjoying this show a lot. 3 episodes in. I'll admit, now looking back on it, I do think the Agent or Captain Carter episode was the weakest, but I still really enjoyed that episode a lot, and I thought the T'Challa episode, becoming Star-Lord, and now this one were even better. So yeah, the show's getting better and better for me. I already loved it from the beginning. Other people seem to be really enjoying the show too so far. I think it's a fun show, and it's fun seeing these different scenarios being played out. And now, this was the last of the 3 episodes that the critics got to see before us. Now we're all on par, and now we have no idea what's coming up next. So it's going to be fun, because I had heard that this episode was about the assassination of some of the Avengers. So now I'm curious going in, now that we're all blind of the future of this show, where is it going to take us next? I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I wonder if it's going to be the Thor episode next. We do know that there's going to be an episode focusing on Thor, Party Thor, as some people would say. It could be the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, as the toys have spoiled. I would like to see a Doctor Strange episode eventually soon. So I don't know if they're going in. It doesn't look like they're going in any specific order, because Guardians of the Galaxy happened before Iron Man 2, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk. And that last week was like a combination of Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther. So we'll see. We'll see what we get next. I'm very excited to find out. So with that being said, comment below and tell me your thoughts on this episode, guys. I thought it was great. Let me know what you think too. Start a discussion below, and let's start talking about it. So with that being said, I want to plug in my Patreon supporters. These are the people that support this channel, and they want to help me grow as a channel, and that's great. I need more people to back me up on this, especially if I want to start getting videos out there earlier. The only way I can do this is if I can make this the job that I want it to be. And with another job paying the bills, I can't do that right now. So all I'm asking is for a $5 tier and a $10 tier. The $10 tier is really there more for generosity right now, but if you can, that would be awesome. If you can't, I get it. $5 I think maybe is a little bit more reasonable. You'll get a end credit here as you're seeing these 4 names right here. These are the 4 people, my 4 Patreons that support this channel, and they are awesome. So thank you very much to my Patreon supporters. You people are awesome. And so if you can't, look, I get it. It's not easy right now. That's why I'm starting a Patreon page. I thought, other people on YouTube do it. Why don't I give it a chance and try and see if I can get any help backing me up? And if not, hey, at least watch every video that I post up. Like every video I post up. All of that helps with the algorithm. And some people don't understand what the algorithm is. If you do your research on YouTube doesn't really promote people's channels very well. And to help that, if you like and watch every video I post up, that actually helps. Or at least the videos that interest you. That's the least I can ask for. I can't, watch every single day that I post up videos. Number one, I don't even post videos up every single day. I post up when I can or when I have something to talk about. So if you can, that would be awesome. If you can't, well, that's all I can say. With that being said, guys, until next time, I guess I'm going to end it here. Take care.